Thank you for listening to Shulchanaruchharav.com.
May men perform Melacha after candlelighting time on the calendar? So as we know, the custom of Jewry is to publicize a candlelighting time which is several minutes prior to sunset. In most places it's 18 minutes. In some cities they do a half hour. Some places like Jerusalem they do 40 minutes. And we know that women are initially to be particular, to be careful in this, to light the candles by that time, as we will discuss in a different lesson. Our question is, however, regarding the man or the husband or the Bachar. May he continue to do Melacha past the candlelighting time, or should he too decide to accept Shabbos early, just as his wife or mother, etc., is careful to light the candles by that time? And last but not least, what does one do in a situation where there's still things that have to get done? It's already candlelighting time. Who should do it, the wife or the husband? Is it better for the wife to do it so the husband can accept Shabbos by candlelighting time, or is it better for the husband to do it so the wife can light on time that it says in the calendar? So, while most people most likely have the notion that for men it is permitted for them to do Melacha past candlelighting time, there are some individuals who think that it is forbidden for them to do so, and that they too are meant to accept Shabbos by candlelighting time and should not be asked to do Melachas afterwards. Which is correct? The answer is as follows. It is mutter even lechatchila, and even in public, for men to do Melacha past candlelighting time until several minutes close to Shkia, when they should already accept Shabbos in order to fulfill the mitzvah of Tesefer Shabbos, and in order so they don't come to transgress Shabbos chas v'shalom. But until those few minutes close to Shkia, they have absolutely no obligation, even initially, to accept Shabbos by candlelighting time. And therefore, even in public, it's permitted for them to still do Melacha, like to drive a car in a safe manner, to go to shul within those 18 minutes. And so is the custom of 99% of Jewry, and so was done by Gdolei Yisrael. And the reason is very simply because A, we find no halachic precedents and no Jewish literature which states that you have to accept Shabbos by a candlelighting time. The whole concept of a candlelighting time is new to the recent generations, and is just a hiddur mitzvah that women accepted upon themselves for good reason, so they don't come to delay lighting candles and chas v'shalom come to light them on Shabbos. However, men never accepted this custom upon themselves, and even for women it is a hiddur and not an obligation. Some individuals have erroneously publicized that since today majority of the city accepts Shabbos by that time, therefore it becomes an obligation for everyone to accept Shabbos by this time and not perform Melacha. However, this notion is completely incorrect, as the concept of a city accepting Shabbos early, which can then force the rest of the inhabitants to accept Shabbos early, is only in a case where your synagogue already davened Kabbalah Shabbos and you were not there. Then we say that since majority of your congregation already accepted Itzuma Shel Yom, already said Kabbalah Shabbos, therefore you too have to accept Shabbos. And indeed, this is the halacha. But if majority of your congregation has not yet davened Kabbalah Shabbos, which is the practical custom in majority of congregations throughout the world, that they daven first Mincha and then have Kabbalah Shabbos later on, after sunset, then there's absolutely no requirement for you to accept Shabbos at the time that people accept Shabbos by lighting candles. So even if it were to be statistically proven that majority of men accept Shabbos by candlelighting time, this would have zero impact on anyone else in the community, and they could decide to accept it later, so long as majority of the community of your shul has not yet davened Kabbalah Shabbos. Furthermore, in truth, the entire notion is incorrect, as majority of men do not accept Shabbos by candlelighting time, as is renowned throughout all Jewry. And if you say, well, if we join the men to the women, there's majority, the Alter Rebbe writes in Shulchanaruch that the women are not considered a tzibur regarding this matter of obligating the rest of the city. So whatever the case is, this notion is completely incorrect. And it remains permitted even today, where we have an accepted candlelighting time, for men to continue to do Melacha after Zman Adlakas Neiros. Nonetheless, just because it's permitted for them to do so does not mean that there is not a hiddur involved for them to accept Shabbos early. And certainly there is a hiddur to accept Shabbos early for the mitzvah of Tesefer Shabbos, which the more you add, the more of a mitzvah. And certainly it's praiseworthy to accept Shabbos 18 minutes before in order to suspect for the opinion of the Yereim, who says that that's when Shkia begins, as writes the Mishnah Brura. And therefore, while men are not obligated to stop doing Melacha by the time of Adlakas Neiros, and most don't, nonetheless it is a good thing for them to do so if they choose. All the above information is stated in a tshuva of the Igros Moshe, Volume 1, Tshuva 96, in which we find a very interesting shaila and tshuva of Reb Moshe Feinstein. A person in New York sent Reb Moshe Feinstein a letter saying, Reb Moshe, I can't believe you, such a frum Jew, can desecrate Shabbos. I saw you driving past candlelighting time to shul in Manhattan in the Lower East Side. And Reb Moshe very humbly answered him, I am very happy for what you wrote to me to fulfill the mitzvah of Teichacha. As in your opinion, you think it's forbidden for me to drive and do Melacha after candlelighting time. But in truth, let me tell you, says Reb Moshe, doing so contains no notion of prohibition at all, not even to Tamaris Ayin. And this matter is renowned to the public that men are allowed to do Melacha after candlelighting time until close to Shkia. And just because some people have a mistaken halacha doesn't mean we have to stop doing Melacha because of them. And on the contrary, we should do Melacha and publicize to them that it's not yet Shabbos. And that even women are aware of this, that men can continue doing Melacha past the 18 minutes, even lechatchila. Nonetheless, in his great humility, Reb Moshe concludes that since you say that some people may take this the wrong way and desecrate Shabbos as a result of me, therefore I'll make sure not to drive anymore after the time of Adlakas Neiros. Regarding the Chabad custom, we turn to a number of the veteran Chabad Rabbanim, Zikri Rabbanei Anash, and they all answer that there is no accepted custom in Lubavitch to accept Shabbos early. Every person does it when they want, and there is no accepted custom to be makbid to accept Shabbos by the time of Adlakas Neiros for men. As Rav Eli Lando stated, when necessary, they turn on a light or turn off a light and do things that are last minute. So based on all this, we will now tackle a query that was asked regarding a Shalom Bayis issue that was created regarding this halacha between a husband and wife. The husband thinks he's not allowed to do Melacha after candlelighting time, and he refuses to do the last minute things, which causes his wife to do it, and she then delays lighting candles, and she's frustrated. The proper reply to this predicament is as follows. Definitely, the wife should respect her husband's desire to accept Shabbos early, which is a hiddur, and should try to arrange for things to be done beforehand with his help and cooperation. However, in the event that it already happened, that things weren't done and need to be done after candlelighting time, certainly the husband should not throw it on his wife, as his wife has the minhag to accept Shabbos early and light candles by that time, and rather he should pitch in and do it, and nullify his stringency, as once again this concept is only a chumrah, as from letter law certainly he may do Melacha until he accepts Shabbos b'payil, or until Shkia arrives, and one should never have a stringency come in the expense of another person, especially one's wife.
Thank you for listening to Shulchanaruchharav.com. Our free services of making Torah knowledge available to the public depends on donors like you. Please help us continue our work through making even a small contribution at Shulchanaruchharav.com under the Daily Halacha Dedication section, or